Welcome to A Student of Leadership, a micro-podcast where leaders are made one habit at a time. Hosted by Rob Adams, a leadership veteran with 30 years of experience, this podcast explores key concepts that define exceptional leadership. Each episode delves into a powerful word or strategy, offering practical insights and real-world stories. Whether you're just starting out or an experienced executive, join Rob as he guides you in learning, growing, and leading with purpose.
Hey everyone, Rob Adams here, and welcome back to the Micro Podcast, A Student of Leadership. This is where great leaders are made. That's right, one habit at a time. And I am so thrilled to tell you we are at a significant number today, episode number 25. Almost 6 months has gone by since we started this Micro Podcast, and I could not be more honored and more gratified and thankful for all of my listeners. You all make it happen every single day. I love delivering quick, impactful, actionable stuff that you can take right to your day, your people, your leadership skills. So let's jump right in. Today's habit separates passive managers from confident leaders. And just like a great episode 25, we are talking about decisiveness. Here's the truth, everybody. The best leaders don't wait around for perfect clarity. They don't hide behind consensus, and they don't let fear freeze them. Decisiveness is about timely, confident action, even when the stakes are high and the outcome isn't guaranteed. This episode is about building that kind of decision-making into your leadership rhythm. We'll explore a powerful real story, share practical behaviors, and give you a challenge that strengthens your ability to act with clarity and conviction. Now let's get to that real leadership story. This is about a principal who closed school early in 2019. Janet Torres, a public school principal just outside of Houston, Texas, found herself facing a very, very tough and difficult call. A tropical depression had formed in the Gulf. Storm models were unclear. The district hadn't issued any alerts yet, and other schools were still waiting. But Janet knew her community. She'd seen how fast the streets around the school could flood, and she'd seen what happened when schools waited way too long. So she made the bold decision. "We are closing school tomorrow," she said. "No classes, no buses. I'll take the heat if I'm wrong." Parents questioned her. Colleagues hesitated, but she did not budge. The next day, the storm hit harder than even expected. Roads were impassable. Emergency alerts lit up the phones everywhere, and several nearby schools had students trapped in their buildings or stranded on flooded roads. But not Janet's. Her school was empty. Her students were safe. She didn't have more information than anyone else that day, but she dared to act, and act fast, clear, and alone if necessary. Now that's decisiveness. It's not about being famous, not about being certain. It's about protecting what matters most and having the guts to lead when others freeze. Now let's get real. Are you leading with clarity or fear? Here's a hard question for every leader. Do you wait until it's safe or act when it counts? The real issue behind indecision isn't lack of information. It's usually fear. It's fear of being wrong, fear of being blamed, fear of not being liked. But while you hesitate, your team watches and waits. And indecision? It spreads fast. People don't need perfect answers. They need forward movement. If your default is delay, you're signaling your confidence is conditional. And when that happens, your team loses energy and momentum. Decisiveness is not reckless. It's rooted in values, experience, and clarity. And the more you act with those in mind, the stronger your leadership becomes. Theodore Roosevelt nailed it when he said, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing." Great leaders do not freeze. They move. And if they get it wrong, they learn, adapt, and adjust. But if they do nothing, they erode the very trust they're supposed to build. Now let's get into some silent decisions. What your team is watching leadership is visibility, even when you're quiet. When you avoid making a decision, your team doesn't assume you're being thoughtful. They assume you're unsure, or afraid, or avoiding responsibility. And here's how it shows up. You keep pushing the deadline back and back and back. You ask for more opinions after already getting enough. You announce a decision and then walk it back a day later. Every time that happens, your credibility takes a hit. Now, instead, I want you to try this. Make the decision. Explain the why. And move forward. Even if people disagree, they'll respect the clarity that you have provided them. A Harvard Business Review study found that companies led by decisive leaders are 12% more likely to achieve their performance goals than companies led by hesitant or overly consultative leaders. Now that's not a small edge. That's a leadership multiplier. Now why, you ask? Because decisiveness drives momentum. It gives people direction, and most of all, it shows you're willing to lead. Now let's get into 3 habits that stick. These are building daily decisiveness and how to make decisiveness a stronger leader habit. Start with these 3 and you'll see progress. First, define your filters. Know your priorities before the pressure hits. Ask, what matters most here? Speed, safety, integrity, impact? Let those filters guide your calls. Shorten the gap. Set a decision deadline for key choices. Instead of waiting for 100% certainty, move when you've got 70 to 80%. In fact, most great decisions are made before all the lights are all green. And then finally, number 3, own your call. Don't bury your decisions in phrases like the team thought or the leadership says. If it was your decision, own it. Clear accountability builds unbelievably massive trust. Now, your action challenge for this week is to think about a recent decision you delayed. What held you back? Fear of criticism? Wanting more data? Not wanting to be wrong? This week, choose one decision you've been avoiding, big or small, and just make it. Use your best judgment. Communicate the why, and then move forward. Remember, even a decision that needs adjustment later is better than no decision at all. Because of decisiveness builds confidence and creates momentum. Decisiveness is one of the most important visible leadership behaviors, and it's one of the most contagious. Your team will follow your lead. If you show clarity, they'll find direction. If you hesitate, they'll stall. Now, next week on A Student of Leadership, we'll be exploring coaching. a leadership behavior that doesn't just manage people, but grows them into something more. It's about making people better. And until then, keep building those habits and make great leaders. And remember that great leaders are made, that's right, just one habit at a time. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Student of Leadership. Leadership is about who we become and how we help others grow. If you found value in this podcast, share it with a fellow leader and connect with Rob on LinkedIn or leave a review. New episodes drop weekly, so don't forget to subscribe to stay connected. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and leading with intention. Remember, great leaders are made one habit at a time. See you next time on A Student of Leadership.